Hello and welcome to our first section of Chapter 6. I hope you're as excited as I am. Today's lesson we're going to talk about ratio and proportion, as you saw in the title. And so the question first comes up is, what is the difference between a ratio and a proportion? So the first thing we're going to talk about are ratios. Notice what I wrote. Ratios are fractions. Okay? So if A and B are two numbers or quantities and B is not equal to 0, then the ratio of A to B in that order, A to B, is this fraction A over B. Right? That's that fraction. Another way to look at a ratio is the ratio of A to B. Again, look at it as A to B. Can be rewritten as AB. Well, that's a ratio symbol right there. And then lastly, ratios should be simplified and written in lowest terms. So a ratio of 8 to 10 would not be a completed ratio. You'd have to make that 4 to 5, or it'd be easier as 8/10 would be 4/5. So what's a proportion? Well, a proportion are two ratios set equal to each other. So proportion is actually an equation. So for example, right there, I have the ratio of 3/5 equal to 6x over 20. And you can find x in that situation. If you know how to find x, great. If you don't, I will show you later in this video. So first off, again, ratios are fractions, and proportions are ratios set equal to each other. So here's our first example. We're going to find the ratio of side length in triangle ABC to side length in DEF. So that means ABC is first, or on top, and then DEF is second. So ABC has a length of 2 centimeters. So in the ratio, ABC would go on top, so 2, and DEF is second, so on the bottom, and DEF is 4, so I'd have 4 centimeters. So really it's a ratio of 2 centimeters to 4 centimeters, which means the ratio is truly just simply 1/2, all right? And remember, the centimeters would divide out, so ratios will not have any labels. Let's look at another example, a little more complication here. A little more complicated, I mean. The perimeter and ratio are given length to width, all right? So length is 5, width is 2. Now perimeter is very helpful that it gives us perimeter of a rectangle, all right? So that's a formula. So remember, perimeter of a rectangle, perimeter would equal 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. That's perimeter. And if the perimeter is 50 inches, all right, 50 inches goes in for P, so 50 will equal, and it's 2 times the length. Now, the length and width are in a ratio. So if you're stuck on this, you can try to draw a picture of a rectangle, all right, and the length is the longer side. I usually do that. So really, if that's a 5 to 2, that doesn't mean the length is 5 and the width is 2. But that's just like in a ratio, all right? So really it's 5x and 2x. So the perimeter is 2 times the length, and the length being 5x, or the bigger of the two, and then 2 times the width, and the width being 2x, or the smaller of the two. Now I can simply solve for x, all right? So I still would have 50 equal to 2 times 5x would be 10x, plus 2 times 2x would be 4x. All right, and so 10x plus 4x is going to be 14x, set that equal to still 50. And we divide by 14, and 50 divided by 14 is approximately, x would be equal to about 3.6. But I'm not asked to find x, I'm asked to find the length and the width. So the length would be 5 times 3.6, or 18 inches. And the width is 2 multiplied by 3.6, which would be then 7.2 inches. So the length is 18 inches, the width is 7.2 inches, and that would be then how I would find that. So it's not that complicated. When you have a ratio of 5 to 2, it seems like it'd be hard, but it's just 2x to 5x. All right, next example. The extended ratio of the measures of the angles of a triangle are 2 to 3 to 4. So it says sketch a picture. All right, you can draw a triangle. So just draw a triangle. And think about it, it's 2, so then I would have the smallest angle, might be this one, 2x. And then maybe this one is 3x. And then here is, you can't see green, sorry. There is 4x. Those are the angles. How do you find the angles? Well, what do you know about the three angles of a triangle? All right, it would be 2x plus 3x plus 4x is equal to 180 degrees. All right, so we got to remember all those properties we've used in the past. And 2 plus 3 plus 4, that's going to be 9x equal to 180. And I divide by 9, and x would equal 20. All right. Now, I don't want to know what x is. I want to know the measure of the angles. So 20, all right, I would bring that up to my picture up here. And 20, so I would do 2 times 20, which equals then 40 degrees. 3 times 20, which is then 60 degrees. And 4 times 20, which is 80 degrees. And it would be a good idea to check this. What is 40 plus 60 plus 80? 40 plus 60 is 100 plus 80 is 180 degrees. So there is, for sure, my 3 answers. Our next example, 3 candidates run for a local election. In all, we had 12,936 votes cast, and the breakdown of the votes in the extended ratio of 3 to 4 to 5. And that was for 3 candidates. How many votes were cast for each candidate? Again, when you see 3 to 4 to 5, you can write that as 3x, 4x, and 5x. And the way you'd find the total is you would add them together, which would equal then the 12,936 votes. All right, well, 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 12x is equal to 12,936. You divide that by 12, and x is equal to 1,778, sorry. All right, and then I can now figure that out for the number of candidates. Well, I had, in the first candidate, I had 3. So 3 multiplied by 1078 would mean that candidate received 3234 votes. Notice I'm labeling my answer again. All right, and then I can't use that one. In the 4, I would do 4 multiplied by 1078. And 4 by 1078 is 4,312 votes. And then lastly, the 5, again, 5 times 1078. And that means that other candidate who won, by the way, would be 5,390 votes. All right, so again, that's how you can set up the ratio, 3 to 4 to 5, and find your answers. So that was how you could use ratios. Now we're going to talk more about proportions. And so to do proportions, we first need to talk about this cross products property, which basically means we are going to be working on cross multiplying. So you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, cross multiply. All right, so if you have a ratio, A over B, and it's equal to another ratio, C over D, so now that's a proportion. Ratio equal to ratio is a proportion. And the cross products property means you cross multiply. Multiply there, and you would get AD. Multiply there, and you would get BC. And then they're still equal to each other. AD equal to BC, or BC equal to AD, however you want to write it. That's the cross products property, which basically is cross multiplication. Let's practice this too. So I've set up 3 proportions for you here. And we are going to cross multiply here, so on all of them. So I multiply there and I multiply there. All right, and you can write it either way. You could write it 12b, that's what 12 times b is, and then 16 times 18 is 288. And now I simply solve for b, divide by 12, and b is equal to 24. Next item up for bid here is part B. Again, we're going to cross multiply. Now understand, when you have to multiply 6 by x minus 3, you need to put that in parentheses and have the 6. So it's going to be 6 multiplied by x minus 3 equal to, and then 3 times 8 is 24. And now you see what you have to do here. We need to distribute the 6. All right, so that's going to be a 6x minus 18 equals 24. All right, it's this part right here that people are going to make the most mistakes and forget to put an 18 there, and you're going to put a 3 instead. All right, and now to solve, we simply add 18 to both sides. That gets crossed out, and now I get 6x equal to 42, and I divide by 6, and then when I divide by 6, x is 7. This last one here, all right, I multiply there. Now that's going to be 24 multiplied by x minus 12, and equal to 8x. All right, that yellow is kind of hard to read. I'll change it. That's going to be 24 times x and 24 times 12. So that's going to be a 24x minus 288, which then equals 8x. All right. So what I'll do there is we can subtract the 24x if you'd like. All right, and then I'll get a negative. When that goes away, it's a negative 288, and that's going to equal to a negative 16x divided by negative 16 on both sides, and then a negative divided by a negative means that x will be positive 18. There we have it. That's cross multiplication. All right, second to last example. We're almost done. The ratio of 2 side lengths for the triangle is given, and solve it for D. So we are given that AB, which is this segment right here, is 60, and AC right there, and that's in the ratio of, so AC is in blue, and 15 to 8. All right, well that means AB is 60, right, over the 3D plus 2. That's going to equal then the same ratio of 15 over 8. Okay, and I'm going to move this up so I have a little more room to work as I go. That's what that ratio means. So let me put it also in words here. That means AB and 15 are on the same side, and then AB and is 15, so AC to 8. And you can see how you can plug in the AB value and the AC value. And now what I will do is I will cross multiply like that. So that is going to be then 15 multiplied by 3D plus 2. And that will equal 60 times 8, which is then 480, 48 and a 0. All right, I have to distribute the 15. Then I will get a 45D plus 30 equal to 480. Right. So now to solve, I subtract 30. 30s are gone. 45D is now equal to 450. Well, that worked out really nice for us. Divide by 45, and in that case, D is equal to 10. What I asked to be solved for, just simply solve for D. I don't need to find the length of AC, so D is 10, and I can move on. Here's our last example. All right, so we have a high school where the ratio of seniors to underclassmen is 1 to 5. So 1 to 5 is my ratio, so that means I'm going to go 1 to 5. Okay, there are 125 seniors, and again, it went seniors to underclassmen. So that means the 5 deals with the underclassmen and the 1 deals with the seniors. So seniors is 125, and the question is how many underclassmen are there? Well, again, seniors are both on top, so 1 to 125, and then underclassmen, that's that I don't know, is X. All right. So just so we can kind of compare that, I'll use the same colors I used above right there. And again, it's just cross multiply. Well, that's going to get me then just x equals to 625. And then don't forget your label, underclassmen. And underclass just means juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. There we have it. Last example. And this is the assignment that goes with this section. Have a great day and good luck.